And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here bright and early from a lovely little Westlake Village, California, where we're going to be following up on Bitcoin's price action, some of the underlying market dynamics, and the major economic data that's going to be coming out this week. And wanted to bring our attention to, well, CBDCs, which are becoming the likely conversation of many politicians these days. And Bank of Canada, yes, they are talking about their CBDC and giving the public up to June 19th to weigh in on their opinion. And as most Canadians are roaring back at this digital dollar from the Bank of Canada, I also just saw a pretty interesting post about the digital currency plan in Nigeria, where the government has now forced people to take the CBDC or face starvation. So not good, not good. And we're going to be doing a deep dive on CBDCs later this week and posting a video about it. But wanted to remind everybody, economic data today is retail sales coming out in about 50 minutes at 5:30 Pacific time. We got retail sales today, building permits tomorrow, jobless claims on Thursday, and Friday, Pal's going to give a speech somewhere. And yes, I will bring us back to the daily time frame where we did discuss kind of a retest of the breakdown level, which we got a perfect retest yesterday off of this horizontal triangle, and still got to stick with the bearish bias here as we did break down, and that target is coming in at about $25,000. Now, where does invalidation take place? Well, if you want to front run it, a daily closure back above a daily or a 12-hour back above 28,300. Probably good enough for me, but if you're more conservative, you're going to wait for 29.5 on the daily. And we will call this breakdown head and shoulders formation a failure. And simply put, here's your shoulder, here's your head, and here's your double shoulder on the right. And breaking back above the shoulder does give invalidation for the head and shoulders pattern. And really, the head and shoulders can give you a bit of a deeper target, measuring from the peak. And that would bring us all the way down to our green box of peace and prosperity and death and despair, coming in at about $24,000 for a full measure move off the head and shoulders target. But that is essentially what you want to see, is a breakdown, a retest of the trend line, and then it picks up some momentum and some speed and then heads on down to that lower target. Right now, I would say we are looking more like a bounce. We are looking more like a bounce. And well, why is that? Well, 4-hour time frame is actually now slumped back over and giving us a little more impetus for some downside. We also have a drive of, well, how many drives do we have? We have one, call it 2, 3, maybe, perhaps. If we do take out this wick here on the 4-hour time frame at 26,987, I do think we are going to come back down and fill the gap on the CMEs here, which we talked about yesterday as well, that even if we come back down, test the gap, and then pick ourselves up, well, bounce target is going to be initiated. And that would be a pretty good sign. If we come, test the gap, hold support there, and then head back up, put in, a bit of a higher low, that would look good for, a little bounce continuation, a little more pain for the market as more and more people, I think, are getting bearish. So that also brings our attention back on here. We talked about the same thing happening for the dollar. So we had a breakdown, a retest of the trend line, and then you'd expect continuation to the downside. Same thing for the dollar here. We broke the massive range. and we came and retested, and you would expect continuations back. Now, a break back into the range, which will be confirmed today with several drives of hidden bearish divergence, where price is making lower highs and the RSI is making higher highs. Many drives here. In fact, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be closing anywhere today on the dollar below 102.37. And as the economic data comes out today, if retail sales is coming out higher than expectations, that would essentially be bullish for the dollar. And I think we do see the reversal continue to play out for the dollar, and risk assets do play a little bit lower. That being said, that's something to keep an eye out in the next 50 minutes, or now we're coming in about 45 minutes. And so wrapping it up on Bitcoin, any kind of a daily closure back below 26.7, and very likely downside displeasures continue. Otherwise, I would be looking for a general bounce up to this 28.3 target, which is going to be right in line probably with the 618 fib where the bull traps come in. So why don't I throw on another little green box of peace and prosperity. So below the box, pressure is to the downside, and it would just be another lower high, essentially anywhere, downside, don't fight the daily downtrend. That is the great old saying in Bitcoin land. Do we have a weekly downtrend established? No, we do not. Last thing I will bring up, which does, give us more impetus for a bit of a bounce. Credit to Mr. Crown here on the weekly is, we just retested the mean band, and essentially a bounce could come all the way up to this topside channel, and is more likely, statistically speaking, for the bounce to occur here based on the past iterations of the mean band here. So what happens once you break the mean band? Well, typically upside follows. We broke the mean band there on the weekly, and really put in a rally. Same thing here. This one a little bit more similar to what we're looking at right here. We broke the mean band, and we came back and retested, and off to the races from there. And, third time makes a trend. We broke the mean band, did not come retest, just essentially broke out to the moon from there. So 3 times makes a trend, and, we had 3 times there, and this is the 4th time. So let's hope for some trend continuations on Mr. Bitcoin as we know it. And I think I will wrap it up there, guys. Hope you have a blessed and highly favored day, and be looking out for that CBDC video coming this week. Take care, and I will see you soon.